Chosen one. Heaven pauses your timeline in this very moment. Everything around you slows, almost as if the air itself is holding its breath. You sense it. This isn't coincidence. This is divine intervention. You were led here not by algorithm, but by orchestration. God says, I need you to see this right now. There have been countless moments when you scrolled past the voice of heaven, distracted, weary, uncertain. But not this time. This message was written with your name hidden inside it, waiting for the moment your spirit was ready to receive it. And now, it is. You are standing on sacred ground in the middle of your ordinary day, because heaven has decided to interrupt your life with a reminder you are chosen. You have felt the tug before, haven't you? The quiet whisper in the night, the gentle stirring that refuses to fade. It was never imagination. That was the Spirit calling you, reaching through the noise of this world, saying, wake up, chosen one, the hour has come. You have walked through pain, betrayal, misunderstanding. People saw only fragments of you and tried to label them, but they never saw your whole story. They couldn't see the angels guarding your steps, the warfare surrounding your destiny, the divine fingerprints on your soul. You are not an accident. You are not forgotten. You are the result of heaven's careful design. As you listen, let your heart soften. The world taught you to harden yourself, to survive through silence, to hide your tears. But God saw every tear. None of it was wasted. You are being reawakened tonight because there is something inside you that refuses to die, a fire that darkness cannot quench. It is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. There is a reason this message found you at this exact second. God is reclaiming your attention. He is whispering your name into eternity, saying, my child, I never left you. I never forgot what I promised you. You are still mine. The enemy tried to drown that voice with doubt, delay, and distraction. You've heard thoughts that said, maybe I missed my moment. Maybe God moved on. But no, heaven doesn't change its mind about those it has chosen. The gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. Every detour you've taken, every heartbreak you endured, has only refined you for the greater purpose ahead. You are standing between two realities, the one you see and the one God promised. And right now, heaven wants to close that gap. But it begins with your surrender. Be still. Let go of the control you've tried to maintain. The miracle you've been praying for is not hidden in your effort, but in your yielding. This is not a moment for fear. It is a moment for recognition. Recognition that God's hand has been over your life even when you didn't see it. Recognition that your pain was not punishment, it was positioning. Recognition that the season of hiding is over. The light of God is about to break through the cracks you once tried to conceal. There is a prophetic stirring happening even as you read this. The weight that sat on your chest for so long is lifting. The confusion that clouded your vision is clearing. Heaven is aligning your heart again with divine rhythm. You are being recalibrated for purpose. You will not go back to who you were. Chosen one, you have been marked for such a time as this. Do you feel it? The warmth behind your ribs, that subtle pulse of recognition, it's your spirit responding to truth. It's heaven confirming that you are seen, known, loved, and called. God says, I am awakening what the world tried to bury. Every lost dream, every silenced prayer, every vision you thought expired, it still lives. It was never denied, only delayed for divine timing. You are now stepping into that appointed hour. So listen carefully. This is not about chance. It's about calling. Heaven is not sending you a suggestion, it's issuing you an invitation. The same voice that spoke creation into existence is now whispering into your heart. Rise. Remember who you are. Do not scroll away from this. Do not let the noise pull you back into distraction. There is purpose breathing in your direction right now. God is speaking peace into your storm, clarity into your confusion, and courage into your hesitation. Be still. Chosen one. Heaven has paused everything else just to remind you. You were born for this. If this word resonates with your spirit, don't keep it silent. Let your agreement echo in the heavens and in the earth. Like, share and comment the number 777 below as a prophetic sign that you receive this message. That you choose to stand in your divine calling. That you say, I am ready. From the moment you entered this world, you were already different. Heaven had written your name before your first breath, assigning you to a story larger than yourself. That's why you never quite fit in. Why your path felt unfamiliar. Why your spirit wrestled against conformity. What others called odd, heaven called marked. You were not born by accident. You were sent on assignment. Every cell in your body carries a trace of divine intention. There were times you looked at yourself and wondered, why me? Why this but beloved? The truth is that your distinction is the evidence of your calling. The very thing that made you misunderstood by many is the same thing that makes you recognized by heaven. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Let those words echo through your heart. He knew you before you knew yourself. Your identity was not formed by circumstance, but by covenant. Before you took your first breath, heaven had already stamped your spirit with divine purpose. Think about that before your first cry, before the world gave you a name. God had already written your destiny. He saw the moments of doubt, the seasons of silence, and the trials that would shape your character, and still, He said, yes, this one is mine. Every part of your journey has been filtered through His sovereignty. Even the pain carried purpose. That's why rejection could not destroy you. Because rejection was never meant to harm you. It was meant to redirect you. You thought those who walked away broke you, but they only cleared the path for what was meant to come. What you called loss, heaven called alignment. You see, the ones who couldn't handle your light were never meant to walk beside it. The hand of God was pulling you out of rooms where your spirit no longer belonged. It felt like abandonment, but it was actually divine protection. You were being hidden for refinement, preserved until the appointed time. Chosen one. There's a reason your journey felt lonely. God often isolates those He intends to elevate. He pulls His chosen into solitude, not for punishment, but for transformation. In the hidden places, your identity was being forged. In the silence, your discernment sharpened. While others were celebrating visibility, you were gaining depth. You were being equipped in ways unseen. If you look back now, you'll realize that every closed door was a message written in mercy. Every detour led you closer to divine purpose. The pain that once confused you was actually the language of heaven shaping your destiny. You may not have understood it then, but heaven never wastes tears. It harvests them. There were nights when you questioned everything. Why does this path feel heavier for me? Why can't I seem to rest where others do? Because you were never meant to settle where ordinary hearts find comfort. You carry a frequency that heaven tunes differently. You were crafted for eternal resonance, not temporary applause. There's a sacred heaviness that comes with being chosen. It's not a curse, it's evidence of trust. God entrusted you with burdens others couldn't bear. He knew your spirit could withstand the weight of purpose, even when your mind doubted it. He knew that your heart, though broken, would remain open. When others walked through ease, you walked through refining. When others played it safe, you walked through fire. And that fire, though it burned, did not consume you. It purified you. It separated what was fleeting from what was eternal. You were being molded for endurance, trained for revelation, strengthened for glory. Every scar you carry is sacred proof of survival. Every wound that healed became an altar of testimony. Heaven recorded every moment you stayed faithful when it would have been easier to quit. Those quiet moments of endurance were not overlooked. They were noted in divine history. Chosen one, can you see it now? The pattern, the purpose, the thread of grace woven through your past. You weren't overlooked, you were being prepared. You weren't forgotten, you were being refined. Every delay was discipline. Every setback was strategy. God was building something inside you that couldn't be built in comfort. Heaven whispers now, do not despise your difference. Your difference is your distinction. It is your proof of calling. The world may not understand it, but eternity celebrates it. You were marked not to blend in, but to stand out as a living sign of God's intentionality. You were set apart before birth to carry something sacred. That's why compromise never fit you. That's why you've always felt the conviction stronger, the consequences sharper, and the calling louder. You cannot run from what is written in your DNA. The mark of heaven cannot be erased by the hands of men. So walk with your head high, not in pride, but in awareness. You are walking with legacy under your feet. Every step is prophecy fulfilled. Every breath is proof of grace. You are heaven's message in motion. The same God who formed galaxies also formed you with care, with purpose, with vision. And he still watches over his creation with fierce love. Nothing about your life surprises him. Nothing you've lost is beyond his ability to restore. You were marked before you even knew what it meant to be chosen. You were written into a story that cannot be undone. So lift your eyes, chosen one. Heaven's pen is still writing, and your name still shines within the ink of eternity. You've felt it, haven't you, that invisible resistance pressing against your progress, the heaviness that follows every time you begin to rise. The world calls it bad luck, but heaven calls it warfare. You are not being punished. Chosen one, you are being opposed, because the darkness recognizes what you carry before the world does. The unseen realm has watched your growth with unease. Each time your light flickers, hell trembles, for your very presence is a threat. You have been walking through invisible battles, fighting wars that no one around you could see. Yet you kept standing. You kept believing. And that persistence is what has kept the flame of your destiny alive. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, from the letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Those are not poetic words. They are strategy. They remind you that what you face isn't merely emotional or circumstantial, it's spiritual. You have felt people turn against you for no reason, seen doors close inexplicably, sensed heaviness when you tried to move forward. These weren't coincidences. The opposition was confirmation that you are moving in divine direction. The enemy only fights what threatens him. And you, beloved, are a threat. Your prayers disrupt plans. Your faith frustrates darkness. Your endurance delays destruction. There's a reason why you faced battles others don't understand. You carry influence in unseen dimensions. Every time you chose peace instead of revenge, light expanded. Every time you forgave, heaven advanced. Every time you refused to give up, angels recorded victory. You thought your endurance was unnoticed, but heaven saw everything. You've been at war, not just for yourself, but for generations after you. The enemy wanted to silence you because your voice carries generational weight. When you speak, patterns break. When you pray, old curses lose their grip. You are a breaker of cycles, a carrier of change. There's a realm that watches, unseen but alert, waiting for your agreement with heaven. You may have felt alone, but the hosts of heaven have been surrounding you. Every whisper of doubt that said you're not enough came from a place afraid of your awakening. The darkness fears your discovery of who you really are. Chosen one. The battle has never been about your weakness, it has always been about your potential. The enemy doesn't waste energy on what's empty. He fights what's full of promise. He fights what carries heaven's signature. That's why the attacks came early. Why confusion tried to visit you as a child. Why your dreams faced resistance from the beginning. But listen carefully, the very battles meant to break you became your training ground. God never allowed you to face what you couldn't conquer. Every test became proof of capacity. Every struggle taught your hands to war and your heart to trust. You have learned spiritual warfare through survival, and heaven calls that education priceless. There is a moment, like this one, where awareness becomes armor. When you recognize that not every voice deserves attention, not every battle deserves engagement. Your greatest strength isn't always in fighting back, it's in standing firm, anchored in truth, unmoved by noise. The war around you intensifies when your purpose nears fulfillment. But remember, this light never panics in the presence of darkness, it simply shines. The darkness has no strategy against illumination, so every time you choose to shine, you win. You were never meant to live reacting to attacks, you were meant to walk in authority. Authority doesn't plead, it declares. You are a vessel through which heaven speaks, and when you speak, creation listens. You carry divine permission to shift atmospheres. Every fear, every doubt, every whisper of defeat melts under that realization. You are not a victim of spiritual warfare, you are a commander in it. You were equipped long before you realized it. The armor of faith you wear was forged in nights of tears, in mornings of prayer, in days when you refused to quit. Now heaven says, lift your head, warrior. The season of confusion ends here. You are not surrounded by chaos, you surround chaos with your presence. Every attack that came against you has already failed, because it encountered one protected by purpose. The shadows have tried their final tricks, but you're no longer afraid of them. You've learned that fear was their weapon, and now that you walk in knowledge, their power collapses. Every demonic assignment against you is being canceled as you remember who you are. Take a deep breath right now. Feel peace flooding in where pressure used to live. You don't have to earn victory. You just have to stand in it. The cross already sealed your triumph. The blood already declared your freedom. The light within you cannot be extinguished. It only grows stronger the more it's opposed. Chosen one. Hear this truth echoing in your spirit. The very darkness that tried to destroy you will soon testify of your endurance. What was meant to silence you will amplify your testimony. What tried to break you will become your platform. You are not breaking down. You are breaking through. Now, to anchor this moment in your heart, let your voice agree with heaven. Type light wins in the comments. Not as a phrase, but as a declaration that you believe it, that no matter what rises against you, light will always have the final word. Let those 2 words become your weapon, your reminder, your seal of faith. There are nights you remember too vividly, the kind where silence felt louder than any storm. You tried to pray, but the words caught in your throat. You tried to be strong, but the strength ran dry. You felt unseen, unheard, almost forgotten. And yet, heaven was watching, weeping with you, writing every tear into the pages of your becoming. The world never saw the weight you carried. You smiled when your spirit was breaking. You kept showing up when your heart was exhausted. You held others when you yourself needed holding. Every quiet act of endurance became a hidden offering, proof that faith can survive even when it trembles. The Spirit reminds us through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 126 to verse 5. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. You sowed more tears than anyone knows. You poured your pain into the soil of obedience, trusting that somehow, someday, something beautiful would grow from it. And heaven did not ignore those seeds. They are beginning to break through the soil now, quietly but powerfully. The harvest of your endurance is near. Chosen one, you've been trained in secret. The heaviness you carried was not punishment, it was preparation. You've been refined through the furnace of experience, learning to trust God even when you couldn't trace Him. Every sleepless night strengthened your discernment. Every unanswered question stretched your capacity for faith. You see, God's training doesn't always look like blessing. Sometimes it looks like burden. But hidden inside the burden is a blueprint. He teaches you through what you endure. When you felt stripped of everything, heaven was actually equipping you. The fire that threatened to consume you became the tool that purified you. Do you remember the moments when you wanted to walk away? Yet something invisible held you still, that was grace. You thought you were staying strong. But in truth, God was holding you upright. He whispered to your weary spirit, "Not yet. There is more ahead." And that whisper became your anchor. The weight you carried made you sensitive to the cries of others. You learned compassion not from comfort but from pain. You understand loneliness because you've walked through it. You recognize silent suffering because you've lived it. You don't just carry empathy, you carry healing. God uses wounded hands to bind up other wounds. That is why your story matters. There were seasons when you begged for release, not realizing that heaven was writing revelation. The crushing you felt produced oil, the oil of wisdom, the oil of anointing, the oil of endurance. Every delay was pressing, every disappointment was extraction. What remained after the crushing was something purer, something heaven could use. Pain, when surrendered to God, becomes a tool of transformation. It breaks pride. It sharpens vision. It humbles the heart. You, chosen one, have been entrusted with that sacred process. Others may see scars. Heaven sees signatures. Your pain signed you into the covenant of perseverance. The beauty of your journey is that it wasn't meant to make you bitter. It was meant to make you radiant. The trials didn't take your light. They taught you how to shine in the dark. There's a strength in your eyes now, a depth in your voice, a steadiness in your faith that only the valley could teach. You learned to walk when the ground felt unstable, and that's why you will never fall again. Even now, heaven is redeeming the years that felt wasted. The laughter you lost is returning. The joy that once seemed impossible is being restored. You will look back one day and realize that every heartbreak was a doorway to deeper grace. Every tear was an investment in the glory now approaching. So take a breath and release the guilt of your past. You did not fail because you fell. You only failed when you believed the fall was final and you didn't. You rose again and again, you rose. That's what makes you different. That's what proves the hand of God has been upon you all along. There's a holy silence in heaven when one of God's chosen decides to keep walking despite the weight. The angels watch in reverence because they see what you cannot, how every step echoes in eternity. You've walked through hell and still kept your worship. That is not weakness, that is war. Chosen one. Can you feel the pull of heaven growing stronger? It is not just a whisper anymore, it's a call, a summons from eternity echoing through the chambers of your heart. Heaven is recruiting, and your name has been called aloud in the roll of the faithful. You were never meant to simply exist, you were meant to enlist. Life has been your battlefield, but now heaven asks you to step into alignment, to say yes with your whole being. For this is not a time for silence or hesitation. This is the time to move, to respond, to rise. You were never designed to sit on the sidelines of destiny. You were crafted for the front lines of light. As the prophet Isaiah once recorded in the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I, send me." Your yes doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be real. You've already survived so much now. Heaven asks you to step forward with that same endurance, but this time in purpose. The world is hungry for hope, desperate for truth, longing for love that does not fade. You carry that light, hidden but unextinguished, and it's time to let it blaze. Think of your life as a candle in a storm. Every time you share your flame, darkness retreats. When you speak encouragement, when you act with kindness, when you stand for righteousness, you extend heaven's fire into another heart. That's what it means to be part of God's army of light. But this mission is not fought with swords. It is fought with surrender. You don't need perfection. You need willingness. Well, you don't need eloquence. You need obedience. No, God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called. And you, chosen one, are being equipped right now. When you share words like these, when you support this flow of light, when you help spread it further, you are not just pressing a button, you are planting a seed. Imagine each click, each share, each act of generosity as a spark that leaps across miles, igniting another heart in hope. Some may say it's just a video, just a message, just another moment online. But no, heaven doesn't work through just. Heaven works through obedience. When you engage, when you sow, you become part of something sacred, something that ripples far beyond the visible. You see, the kingdom of God is like a field. Each seed planted grows unseen for a season before breaking the surface. Every act of faith is a seed. Every share is a seed. Every word spoken in love is a seed. Even your generosity, yes, your giving is a seed that heaven waters. And when the harvest comes, you will see how much one small act of obedience can multiply. So if this message has touched your heart, if you felt heaven's breath through these words, let that response move you. Like the message to show heaven you've heard the call. Share it, so the same light that found you can find someone else still lost in the dark. Subscribe, not just as a follower of content, but as a soldier of light staying connected to the stream of truth. And if you feel led, donate not out of pressure, but out of purpose to help keep this flame burning for others still wandering in the shadows. Each act you take is like placing another stone in the bridge between heaven and earth. Together, we are building pathways for lost hearts to find home again. When you give, you're not funding a message, you're fueling a mission. You are helping this voice reach the ears that need it most. The beauty of heaven's system is that it never forgets what you sow. Nothing you give is ever wasted. Every gesture of faith is recorded. Every act of generosity echoes in eternity. What you release will return multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over because heaven never lets light go unrewarded. Chosen one, your calling isn't small. The fact that you're still here, still listening, means you are being prepared for something extraordinary. The world is changing, and God is gathering His remnant, those who will stand when others flee, who will love when others hate, who will shine when others hide. That's you. So stand tall. Say yes like Isaiah did. Whisper it if you must, but mean it. Here I am. Lord, send me. You've spent years trying to recognize yourself through the eyes of others, through opinions, through expectations, through the lens of comparison. But heaven is pulling you away from that mirror of distortion. It's time to see yourself as God sees you. This is the mirror moment, when heaven turns your reflection into revelation. For too long, you've believed the lies whispered over your identity. Words like unworthy, too late, not enough, they've echoed in your mind, shaping how you walk, how you speak, how you dream. But today, heaven takes the mirror back. The reflection you're about to see is not defined by wounds, but by wonder. You are not the reflection of your mistakes. You are the image of your Maker. We are reminded through the letter of Peter, in the first epistle, chapter 2, verse 9. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His marvelous light. Do you feel the power in that you are chosen, not tolerated, not barely accepted? Chosen. Heaven looks at you and sees royalty hidden in roughness, a crown waiting for your recognition. You may have walked through mud, but the blood of Christ has already washed you clean. You may have been rejected, but the King Himself has chosen you for His court. When you look in the mirror, stop searching for flaws, start searching for fingerprints. God's fingerprints are all over you. The scars you carry are not signs of shame. They are evidence that grace refused to let go. The enemy wanted your reflection distorted because he knew that once you saw yourself clearly, you would walk in authority. Chosen one. Your identity is heaven's secret weapon. The more you understand who you are, the less control darkness has over you. That's why your self-worth was attacked early. That's why comparison became your silent enemy. That's why you felt invisible in rooms where you should have been honored. But invisibility in man's eyes often means distinction in God's eyes. You were hidden to be holy. There's a radiant authority waiting for you the moment you accept your reflection as truth. When you realize you are royal, you stop begging for tables that were never yours. You start building altars instead. You stop seeking validation from people who cannot see your crown. You walk differently, speak differently, believe differently because you know who sent you. Think of a diamond buried deep in the earth. Its brilliance isn't visible until immense pressure shapes it. That's your story. The pressure you've endured wasn't designed to break you, it was designed to reveal your clarity. You are shining now, not because life has been kind, but because heaven has been faithful. Let this truth soak in. You are royalty, the kind that doesn't need thrones to be powerful, the kind that carries peace like a sword, the kind that shifts rooms just by walking in them. You were anointed for influence long before you knew the meaning of the word. And yet, even kings and queens need reminders. So here it is, your worth does not depend on who notices you. Your calling does not need applause to be authentic. Heaven never measures success by noise, but by obedience. Look again into the mirror, not the one hanging on your wall, but the one held by heaven. What do you see now? A survivor. Yes, but more than that, a steward of light. A vessel chosen to carry truth through this generation. You may have been through darkness, but the verse says you were called out of it. You no longer belong there. The old reflection has expired. You've outgrown shame, fear, and doubt. It's time to step fully into who you are meant to be. This isn't about pride, it's about purpose. Humility is not denying your greatness, it's acknowledging its source, and your source is divine. So stand tall, not as one seeking validation, but as one sent on mission. There will always be voices trying to distort your mirror. The enemy loves confusion because it delays conviction. But when you know who you are, the lies lose their volume. Truth silences torment. So let this be your declaration tonight: I am who God says I am. Say it until it feels natural. Walk in it until it becomes your default posture. Let your reflection finally match your revelation. And if this truth ignites something in you, let your spirit answer heaven's call with a sign of agreement. Comment the number 4404 below. Let it be your symbol of divine identity and heavenly stability on vote. For 4 is the number of foundation, and you, chosen one, are being re-established on the unshakable foundation of truth. When you type it, do it with intention. Don't let it be a gesture. Let it be a declaration: I see myself now. I am chosen. I am royal. I am ready. There are moments when the air itself feels charged, as if creation is holding its breath, waiting for you to awaken. This is one of those moments. You've felt it lately, the restlessness that refuses to quiet down, the stirring in your spirit that keeps whispering. Something is shifting. You can't quite explain it, but your heart knows it's true. Heaven is sounding an alarm inside you. It begins subtly, a thought that lingers longer than usual, a dream that feels too real to ignore, a sudden awareness that you're being prepared for something greater. The awakening doesn't come with thunder and spectacle. It starts with the smallest vibration of recognition. You are sensing destiny approach, as the apostle wrote in the letter to the Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14, "Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." Those words are more than poetry, they are prophecy. You are the sleeper heaven is calling. You are the one whose eyes must open, whose voice must rise, whose heart must burn again. There was a time when you lived half awake, functioning, but not truly alive. You moved through days with muted purpose, your dreams dimmed by disappointment, but heaven cannot let you remain in that slumber. The Spirit is shaking the dust off your soul, breathing life into the embers you thought had gone cold. The awakening isn't just emotional, it's spiritual alignment. God is resynchronizing you with your original design, tuning you back to heaven's frequency. That's why your peace has been disturbed lately. Not because something's wrong, but because something's coming. The tension you feel is the sound of chains loosening. You've been asleep not because you were lazy, but because the weight of the world lulled you into spiritual fatigue. The disappointments, the waiting, the endless cycles they tried to convince you that passion was dangerous, that hope was foolish. But heaven whispers otherwise. Hope is holy, passion is sacred, and you, chosen one, are being reawakened into both. The sound of awakening doesn't only come to shake your comfort, it comes to remind you who you are. You were never meant to drift. You were meant to lead. You were never meant to fade. You were meant to blaze. The world needs your light more than you realize, and heaven is done waiting for your permission. The alarm has already sounded. Sometimes awakening feels like loss, because you can't stay where you once were. Old circles will no longer fit. Familiar routines will begin to feel too small. That's how you know the shift is real. The same spaces that once comforted you will now challenge you, because growth demands expansion. God is not trying to take things away from you. He's trying to make room for what's coming. The pruning you're feeling is not rejection, it's refinement. Every distraction, every counterfeit, every comfort that no longer aligns with your purpose will begin to fall away. Do not panic. Let it. The shaking is mercy in disguise. This awakening isn't just about seeing more clearly, it's about hearing differently. You will begin to sense divine nudges where you once felt silence. The Spirit will speak through subtle impressions, through quiet urges, through peace that suddenly feels directional. Learn to listen not just with your ears, but with your discernment. And when God speaks, it may not always sound comfortable, the truth rarely does. But it will always bring clarity. He will remind you of promises you forgot, reintroduce you to purpose you abandoned, reignite desires you buried. It may unsettle you at first, but soon you'll realize this is what aliveness feels like. You are awakening not just for your sake, but for the sake of others who are still asleep. Your obedience will be the sound that stirs someone else's spirit. Your story will become their alarm clock. You will find yourself saying things you never planned, speaking light into lives that mirror the darkness you once escaped. That's what happens when heaven reclaims your voice. Awakening is not a single moment, it's a journey. You'll feel the tremors before the full quake. You'll see signs of life before the full bloom. But stay patient. Don't rush what's sacred. Every dawn starts in darkness, but the light always wins the horizon. Right now, heaven is whispering your name again, not as a reminder of guilt, but as a call to glory. The same voice that spoke over dry bones is speaking over you. Live again, dream again, believe again. Chosen one, lift your eyes. The horizon is glowing faintly. It's not the end, it's the beginning. The night didn't destroy you, it prepared you to recognize the morning. What you're feeling now is not chaos, it's resurrection. The old you is fading, and the awakened you is rising. The alarm has sounded, and heaven will not let you sleep through your purpose any longer. You are being awakened by design, for this exact hour in history. Rise, for the light is upon you. And as you do, Christ himself will shine through every part of your being until the world sees what heaven has always known. You were never meant to slumber. You were meant to shine. Fear has always known your name. It has followed you quietly, wearing many disguises: uncertainty, hesitation, doubt. It whispered through failure, echoed through loss, and stood in the doorway of every new beginning, daring you to move. But today, heaven is exposing fear for what it truly is: an illusion designed to keep you from your inheritance. The enemy understands something most people overlook, that if he can make you afraid, he can make you forget who you are. Fear blinds, paralyzes, isolates. It convinces the strong that they are weak, the anointed that they are ordinary, the chosen that they are forgotten. But no more. Heaven has issued a decree: the chains of fear must break. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Think back on how many times fear disguised itself as caution. How many divine opportunities slipped away because fear whispered, "Not now, not yet." How many prayers were never spoken aloud because fear said, "What if it doesn't work?" Fear has cost you enough. It has stolen enough. It is time to confront it not as a feeling, but as a thief. The spirit of fear is persuasive because it sounds like your own voice. It tells you to stay safe, to avoid risk, to wait until everything feels certain. But the truth is, faith rarely feels safe. Faith asks you to step while the ground is still forming beneath your feet. Faith invites you to trust before you see. Chosen one. Fear has built invisible fences around your purpose. You felt them, the limits that appear whenever you're about to expand. Suddenly, doubt speaks louder. Insecurity rises stronger. Circumstances seem heavier. But those fences only exist as long as you agree with them. The moment you decide to walk through them, they vanish. God didn't call you to survive behind walls. He called you to walk through them, to prove that the invisible cannot contain the unstoppable. Every time you push through fear, you announce to darkness that it no longer governs your life. That is how victory sounds. It sounds like footsteps of obedience. You might think courage is the absence of fears, and it's not. Courage is the decision to move despite fear. It's looking trembling in the face and saying, "You don't get to decide what I do anymore." Courage is not loud. Sometimes it's just a whisper that says, "I'm going anyway." You've had moments like that before. Remember them. Remember the day you made a choice that terrified you, and yet you did it anyway and found freedom on the other side. Remember how light flooded in after obedience. That was heaven proving that faith always outweighs fear. Fear will try again, but this time you'll recognize it sooner. It thrives in delay. It gains power through hesitation. So act quickly when you feel that holy nudge. Speak when prompted. Move when led. The quicker you obey, the weaker fear becomes. You are a vessel of divine authority, and authority doesn't tremble, it commands. Begin speaking to the fears that used to control you. Name them. Tell them they are trespassing. Tell them their time is over. Cause too long. When you declare truth aloud, lies lose their footing. Every generation needs someone brave enough to break the pattern. You are that one. Your courage will become inheritance for those who come after you. When you rise above fear, you open the door for others to rise too. That's how legacy begins, not with wealth or status, but with spiritual bravery. You've spent too much time asking, "What if I fail?" Heaven asks you now, what if you succeed? What if your obedience changes someone's eternity? What if the very thing you're afraid of holds the miracle you've been praying for? Chosen one. The only thing more dangerous than fear itself is living as though you belong to it. You don't. You belong to freedom. You belong to boldness. Now you belong to a God who specializes in impossible victories. Fear may knock, but it cannot enter unless you invite it. When anxiety rises, answer it with truth, and when doubt speaks, reply with scripture. When the unknown feels overwhelming, remember God already stands in the places you fear to step. Right now, heaven is replacing your trembling with tenacity. Your heart is steadying. The fog is lifting. The fear that once felt like a cage is cracking open, and you can finally breathe again. The sound you hear within isn't panic, it's power. It's the Spirit of God reminding you that courage has always lived beneath your skin. You've just forgotten how loud it can be. You are no longer a prisoner of fear. You are the one who terrifies fear itself. You are proof that light walks unshaken through the valley of shadows. You have power, love, and a sound mind, and nothing, not even fear, can take that away. There are sacred moments in life when heaven invites you to begin again, not because you failed, but because you've outgrown who you used to be. This chosen one is one of those moments, the covenant renewal, the moment when heaven asks you to say yes again, but this time with understanding, with maturity. with fire that cannot be put out. There was a time when your faith was built on borrowed conviction, on the prayers of others, on songs that carried you through pain. But now, God is calling you to stand on your own foundation, to renew your vow with Him, to return to the altar not as a wounded follower, but as a willing warrior. The Apostle James wrote it clearly in his letter, in the book of James, chapter 4, verse 8. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. That is not a suggestion, it's a promise. It means heaven is not distant. It means the moment you move toward God, He moves faster toward you. Every step you take into His presence triggers a divine acceleration. So come closer. Let the noise fade. Forget what everyone else is doing. This is between you and the one who never let go. You don't need perfection to renew the covenant. You just need honesty. Speak plainly. Tell Him where you lost your passion, where your fire dimmed, where the weight became too heavy. He already knows, but He waits for your surrender because love never forces, it invites. When you renew your covenant with God, you are not starting over from zero. You are continuing from grace. The past doesn't disqualify you, it positions you. Every fall taught you humility. Every delay taught you patience. Every storm taught you endurance. You are wiser now, stronger now, ready now. Think of the covenant as a divine handshake, an unbreakable bond sealed not with ink, but with intention. It's the moment when you remind heaven and yourself, I still choose you. That choice echoes through the unseen realm like thunder. Demons tremble when a believer decides to recommit, because covenant means belonging and belonging means protection. There's a holy exchange that happens when you return. The shame you've carried is lifted. The guilt that once chained you breaks. The fear that whispered it's too late dissolves in the light of grace. And as you draw near, heaven draws you into safety, like a shepherd reclaiming a wandering lamb. Many of your battles weren't about punishment, they were about invitation. God allows shaking not to destroy you, but to realign you. He lets comfort crumble so you'll remember the rock that never moves. The covenant was never broken, you simply stopped listening to its rhythm. But even in your silence, heaven waited. Chosen one. You've been through enough to know that nothing else satisfies. The world promised peace but delivered pressure. Success promised fulfillment but left emptiness. Only the presence of God feels like home. Only His voice silences the noise. That's why He's calling you closer, not to control you, but to complete you. Renewing your covenant doesn't mean grand gestures, it means daily surrender. It means choosing prayer when distraction feels easier. It means forgiveness when bitterness feels justified. It means saying, God, I'm yours, not once, but every day until your heartbeat sounds like agreement. This renewal is a transaction of intimacy. Heaven gives revelation to those who draw near. You've wondered why you couldn't hear Him clearly lately. It's because distance dulls discernment. The closer you come, the sharper your hearing becomes. You'll start to notice His whispers in places you once thought were silent. And when that happens, peace will return. Not because life gets easier, but because you'll walk with awareness. Covenant turns chaos into clarity. When you're aligned with heaven, everything around you begins to fall into divine order. So take this moment seriously. Picture yourself stepping forward, not as a spectator, but as a participant in the divine. Feel the weight of heaven's gaze on you, gentle yet powerful. God isn't asking for perfection, He's asking for presence. Your yes is enough. Let your heart whisper it now. I still belong. I still believe. I still choose you. And to mark this sacred renewal, this personal altar of return, let your voice respond. Type I'm home in the comments. Those two words are not casual, they are covenant. They mean your spirit has found its way back to the source. They mean you are done running, done doubting, done delaying. When you write them, heaven reads them. Angels record them. The Father smiles because his child has come closer once again. You are not starting over, you are stepping deeper. Welcome home, chosen one. The covenant stands stronger than before. Chosen one, every flame that burns bright has known the heat of fire. Every gold that gleams has faced the furnace. You, too, have walked through your own inferno not to be consumed, but to be refined. What you once called destruction was in fact divine construction. Heaven was shaping your spirit through the very things you thought would destroy you. It was declared in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, the flames shall not set you ablaze. Notice the promise. It doesn't say you'll avoid the fire, it says you'll survive it. You were not spared from the flames, you were strengthened by them. Look at you now. The pain you thought would break you has become your testimony. The fire that once surrounded you has become the light that guides others. You emerged not burnt, but bright. That's what happens when God walks you through the fire instead of around it. Fire teaches you what cannot be taught in peace. It reveals what's unshakable. It strips away what's temporary. It shows you what's real. When everything else melted, your faith remained. When people left, presence stayed. When plans collapsed, purpose stood tall. The fire didn't ruin you, it revealed you. Think of a clay vessel placed in a kiln. Before it's fired, it's fragile, soft, shapeless, vulnerable to collapse. But after it faces the flame, it becomes firm, ready to carry water, ready to hold weight. That's what the last season did for you. The pressure you felt was not punishment, it was formation. You were becoming a vessel strong enough to carry glory. Sometimes you wonder why your journey had to be so hard. Why couldn't it be easier? Why did others get to walk smooth roads while yours was paved with fire and tears? Because God trusted you with depth. He knew you could handle transformation that others could not endure. You've been trusted with trials because your story will one day ignite courage in others. You see, the fire wasn't random, it was rehearsal. Every struggle, every tear, every unanswered question was preparing you for this moment. You carry wisdom that can't be taught in classrooms. You hold empathy forged in flame. That's why your words pierce hearts when you speak, because they come from experience, not theory. But here's something heaven wants you to know: the fire season is ending. You are walking out of the furnace now. You are stepping into radiance, into restoration, into release. The ashes of your old self are falling away, and something new is being revealed. You've been purified enough. It's time to shine. And as you step out of the fire, this is where your next calling begins to become light for others who are still inside it. There are hearts right now walking through the same flames that once surrounded you. They need the voice of someone who knows how to survive heat and still love God. You are that voice. Every time you share what heaven gives you, every word of encouragement, every act of generosity, you become a torchbearer. When you share these messages, when you help them reach further, you are not just spreading content, you are passing on flame. Imagine it each share like a spark leaping from candle to candle, setting dark corners ablaze with hope. If this message has stirred something deep inside you, let that light ripple outward. Like this, so others see that hope still exists. Share it so that someone in their own fire can find courage. Subscribe so you stay connected to this river of truth that keeps flowing through every word. And if you feel led, if something in your heart says, "This matters, this feeds me," Then let your generosity speak. Donate, not as a transaction, but as transformation. Think of it like watering a seed after it's been planted. Your giving helps light travel to hearts you may never meet, into homes where despair once lived. When you sow into something that heals, heaven multiplies the harvest. Every coin becomes a story, every gift a doorway, every act of faith a ripple that doesn't stop when you press send. You are not just giving, you are building a bridge of light that others can cross. And remember, fire gives two choices: it can consume, or it can refine. You chose refinement. You chose to emerge radiant. So now, let that light flow freely. You are no longer the one walking through flames, you are the one lighting the path for others. Chosen one, wear your scars like medals. Let your story glow. The heat that once hurt you has made you shine brighter than ever before. And every time you share that light, heaven takes notice. You are not just a survivor, you are a spreader of flame. There is a moment in every chosen life when the invisible robe of heaven is placed upon the shoulders of the faithful. It is not seen by human eyes, yet every angel recognizes it. That robe is not made of fabric but of authority. It carries the scent of surrender, the weight of wisdom, and the mark of obedience. That is the mantle of power, and heaven is placing it on you now. The book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 8, records this divine promise: you shall receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you shall be my witnesses to the ends of the earth. This is not metaphor, it is a decree. Power is not something you chase, it is something that descends. It comes upon the willing, not the worthy. It rests on those who have been refined by fire and found faithful in obscurity. You've walked long enough in the valley of preparation. You've faced the silence of God and learned to trust His heart when you couldn't trace His hand. Every delay was a lesson in humility. Every closed door was training for discernment. You didn't know it then, but you were being fitted for the mantle that now rests on your spirit. The mantle doesn't come to make you important, it comes to make you impactful. It's not about titles, recognition, or applause. It's about carrying heaven's authority into earthly places. When the mantle rests on you, your voice begins to carry weight. What you declare in faith begins to shift atmospheres. You start to notice that peace follows your words, healing follows your prayers, and clarity follows your presence. Heaven's power doesn't roar, it whispers. It's found in the quiet confidence of knowing that God moves when you do. You are not acting on your own anymore. You are moving in divine partnership. The Spirit has taken residence within you, and everything about you begins to change. The mantle also carries responsibility. Power without purity leads to pride, but you have already been refined. The fire that once frightened you was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to ensure that when this mantle arrived, your heart could hold it. Now that it has descended, heaven expects stewardship, not showmanship. Chosen one, you are stepping into a new season of spiritual authority. You will speak with wisdom that surprises even you. You will begin to sense things before they unfold, not for fear, but for intercession. Dreams will sharpen. Discernment will deepen. Your spirit will awaken to assignments that once felt too heavy but now feel natural. The authority of God does not make you loud, it makes you clear. You won't need to shout for people to hear truth, they will feel it. When you walk into a room, peace will enter with you. When you pray, darkness will scatter quietly, as if embarrassed by your presence. But remember this, the mantle is a gift, not a possession. You don't own it, you host it. It moves with humility, it requires intimacy. It thrives in surrender. The moment you think the power is yours, it withdraws. That's why heaven trusts only the broken, the ones who know where their strength truly comes from. Think of Elijah and Elisha. When the mantle fell, it wasn't just fabric, it was fire wrapped in faith. Elisha didn't beg for fame, he begged for a double portion of the Spirit. And when the cloak touched him, rivers parted. That's what happens when a surrendered life meets divine power. The natural bends to the supernatural. Now, heaven looks at you with the same invitation: will you carry my power purely? This is not a question of ability, it's a question of alignment. The Spirit has already chosen you. Now you must choose to yield daily. The mantle will rest only where obedience remains. It may feel heavy at times, but that weight is sacred. You are now carrying authority meant to set captives free, to comfort the broken, to guide the lost. When you speak life, heaven backs your words. When you rebuke fear, it must obey. When you declare peace, storms calm. This is what divine partnership looks like. It's not just prayer, it's participation. And though the world may never see the robe you now wear, creation feels it. The same way gravity keeps the earth steady, your obedience now steadies others. You may not fully understand how heaven's authority operates through you yet, but as you walk, revelation will follow. You are not the same person who once doubted their purpose. You have crossed from survival into sovereignty. The mantle resting on your shoulders is proof that heaven trusts you now with influence. Not influence for applause, but influence for impact. Carry it gently. Chosen one. Speak carefully, act intentionally, love deeply. The Spirit that rests upon you is not temporary, it is eternal. You are now an ambassador of the kingdom, a carrier of light, a vessel of power, and wherever you go from this moment forward, the atmosphere will know a mantle of heaven just entered the room. There are moments in divine history when everything finally aligns, when what was delayed begins to flow, when what seemed lost begins to return, when prayers once whispered become visible answers. You, chosen one, are standing in one of those moments. This is the season of prophetic alignment. The gears of heaven are turning in your favor. For a long time, it felt like you were walking in circles. Every step forward met resistance. Every open door seemed to shut just as you approached. You wondered if maybe you'd misheard God, if maybe the promise was for someone else. But what you didn't see was the preparation happening behind the curtain. Heaven was aligning timing with readiness. The prophet wrote in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2, "Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so that he may run who reads it." That's what God is telling you. Now write it down. Don't let the delay make you doubt the promise. Your vision wasn't denied, it was being developed. The timing of heaven never misses, it only matures. You see, alignment is not about speed, it's about sequence. God's promises require conditions to be met, hearts to be prepared, doors to be positioned. And now, one by one, the divine pieces are clicking into place. The silence you endured was the sound of construction. What felt like waiting was actually synchronization. Sometimes God will hold back blessings until your foundation can carry them. He loves you too much to give you something that would crush you. That's why certain relationships ended, why certain plans fell apart. It wasn't punishment, it was precision. Heaven was removing what didn't fit your future. When alignment comes, things that once felt impossible begin to happen effortlessly. Emails arrive unexpectedly. Conversations lead to doors you never knocked on. Resources flow from directions you never anticipated. The chaos that once surrounded you begins to calm, and your spirit senses a peace that feels like prophecy fulfilled. This is your turning point. You are moving from frustration to fulfillment. What used to take months will take moments. The same God who guided Joseph from the prison to the palace overnight can shift your situation in a single breath. You are stepping into divine acceleration, where every seed you've sown begins to bear fruit at once. But alignment is not only external, it's internal. Heaven aligns not just circumstances, but hearts. You are being aligned emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Old habits that once seemed harmless will suddenly feel heavy. Old distractions will lose their flavor. You'll crave peace over noise, purpose over popularity, stillness over striving. That's how you'll know the shift is real. Chosen one. This new alignment requires your participation. God sets the stage, but you must step into the light. You cannot cling to what He's called you to release. The promise requires partnership. When you obey, you synchronize. When you hesitate, you stall. So walk boldly. Trust the timing. Move when prompted. It's like a key finally fitting into its lock. For years you've been holding it, turning it, wondering why the door stayed closed. But now, suddenly, it clicks. Not because the key changed, but because the season did. The alignment of heaven has met the obedience of your heart, and now access is granted. The time you thought you lost is not gone, it's being redeemed. The years that felt wasted were investment. Every detour built wisdom, every heartbreak deepened empathy. Now those experiences are aligning to serve your purpose. What once confused you will soon make perfect sense. The presence of alignment is peace. If you're feeling divine stillness right now, that's not emptiness. It's confirmation. Heaven isn't silent, it's settled. The plan has already been written, and your steps are now following its rhythm. So breathe. You don't have to force anything anymore. You don't have to chase, prove, or persuade. The right doors will open because they were designed for you. The right people will appear because they're part of your next chapter. The right opportunities will align because heaven scheduled them. You are walking in ordained footsteps now. Every move you make in this season carries multiplied weight. Angels are arranging details you haven't even considered yet. The wind of divine timing is behind you. Flow with it, not against it. And as a prophetic act of agreement, let your faith leave a mark in this very moment. Type 111 in the comments. Let that number be your symbol of divine order and spiritual alignment. The number 1 repeats in triplet for a reason. It represents unity between heaven, purpose, and your spirit. When you type it, you're not just commenting, you're declaring, I align with divine timing. I walk in order. I am ready for what's next. Heaven responds to declaration. Your words shape your world. So let 111 be more than numbers. It's your covenant of alignment, your agreement with divine sequence. The waiting is over. Chosen one, the doors are opening. Walk through them boldly, because this is the hour heaven has prepared for you. You've always felt it, that quiet distance between yourself and the world around you. Even when surrounded by people, you sensed something different pulsing within you. Something ancient and unexplainable. It wasn't arrogance, it was awareness. Deep down, you knew that your path was never meant to mirror anyone else's. You were walking among giants, though you hadn't realized yet that you were one of them. The prophet Daniel recorded it in the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 32. The people who know their God shall be strong and carry out great exploits. That verse doesn't describe the famous, it describes the faithful. The ones who choose obedience over applause, conviction over convenience. And you, chosen one, are one of them. You are part of a quiet army of spiritual giants hidden in plain sight, walking through ordinary days while carrying extraordinary destinies. You were never meant to blend in. Blending would have killed your brilliance. That's why conformity always made you restless. Every time you tried to shrink, heaven pulled you back up. Every time you tried to hide, light exposed you. You are not a shadow, you are a sign. The world celebrates noise, but heaven celebrates presence. Giants rarely need to announce themselves, their steps speak for them. You've been trained in silence, but that silence is over. God is positioning you now to stand among others who carry the same weight of purpose. You'll find them not through popularity, but through resonance. You'll know them by the fire in their eyes and the peace in their voices. You are not alone in this assignment. Across the world, heaven is awakening other chosen ones, warriors who carry light into systems of darkness. Artists who create with holy imagination. Healers who touch without fanfare. Prophets who speak without titles. You are one thread in a massive tapestry of divine purpose being woven across generations. Your journey has been preparation for community. Loneliness taught you discernment. Isolation taught you focus. The seasons when you walked alone were sacred. They purified your motives so that when you met others like you would recognize their purity too. There's no competition in true calling, only collaboration. Giants don't compare heights, they join hands to lift nations. But walking among giants isn't about pride, it's about responsibility. The greater the revelation, the deeper the humility required. Power without compassion is chaos, and influence without wisdom is danger. That's why your process has been slow, your pruning so precise. Heaven didn't want you to just rise fast, it wanted you to rise right. Giants carry weight, others cannot. That's why your battles were heavier, your temptations stronger, your lessons harder. You weren't being punished, you were being proven. Before David ever faced Goliath, he had already conquered lions and bears in secret. The giant was just public confirmation of private preparation. You've slain many lions already, silent wars, unseen tears, private surrenders. And now, the world will soon see what heaven has always known: you were trained for victory. But never forget, giants are guardians. Their strength isn't for domination, but for defense. You are called to protect hope, to defend light, to speak truth when compromise seems easier. The mantle on you isn't about status, it's about stewardship. Heaven places power only in the hands of those who remember it's borrowed. You are entering a season of divine connections. The people heaven is sending your way will not compete with your calling. They will complement it. Together, you will amplify impact. There will be divine recognition not through fame, but through fruit. What you touch will multiply because obedience always attracts abundance. You'll begin to notice that your presence shifts rooms, not because of ego, but because of energy, holy energy that emanates from your alignment with God's will. Where you once felt like an outsider, you will now feel like an anchor. You are part of heaven's network, living proof that the remnant is real. But with great clarity comes greater warfare. The more you rise, the more resistance you'll face. Giants still bleed. Don't mistake divine calling for immunity from pain. The difference now is that pain will no longer define you. It will refine you. You'll learn to fight smarter, pray deeper, and move quieter. You'll understand that sometimes victory looks like restraint, and power looks like peace. Walking among giants means walking with weight, but it also means walking with legacy. You carry the faith of those who came before you and the hope of those who will follow after. Every step you take plants a seed for the next generation. That is why heaven is investing so much in your growth. It knows how far your roots will reach. So hold your head high, not in pride but in purpose. You are not here to compete, you are here to complete the work that others began. You are the continuation of prophecy, the living echo of promises spoken centuries ago. The world will see giants rising again, not in arrogance, but in anointing, and when they do, they'll see you among them. Not because you forced your way in, but because heaven positioned you there. You've been walking among giants all along, you just didn't realize that one of them was you. There is a rhythm to divine justice that moves quietly but surely through time. You may not always see it, but heaven has never once forgotten what was taken from you. Every betrayal, every false accusation, every opportunity lost unjustly, it all sits on heaven's ledger. And the season of the great reversal has begun. The prophet Joel declared it in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. Those words are not poetic comfort. They are a legal promise from the highest court of heaven. Restoration is not an idea, it's a verdict. Heaven is repaying you for every season the enemy thought he had stolen. There were times when you questioned the fairness of your journey. You saw others advance while you waited. Others celebrated while you labored quietly in shadows. You kept wondering, did God forget? Did my obedience go unnoticed? But the truth is, heaven never forgets. God's timing may seem slow, but it is strategic. He delays not out of neglect, but out of protection, so that when he restores, nothing can be taken again. You are entering a season where what was once unfair will become fuel for your testimony. The tables are turning, and not because of vengeance, but because of vindication. The pain you endured in silence will become public evidence of God's faithfulness. The very places that saw your humiliation will soon witness your honor. The great reversal isn't merely about things being given back, it's about things being multiplied. Restoration doesn't return you to where you were. It advances you beyond where you would have been. God never gives back in equal measure. He restores with interest. Every lost opportunity becomes double favor. Every broken connection becomes a door to something greater. Every moment of pain becomes a reservoir of wisdom that future generations will drink from. Look at your life like a tapestry turned upside down. For years, you only saw tangled threads and knots. You couldn't understand why certain patterns didn't make sense, why colors seemed misplaced, why pain wove itself into promise. But now heaven is flipping the tapestry. Suddenly, everything aligns, the chaos turns to beauty, the confusion turns to design. The picture makes sense. God specializes in divine reversals. The stone that builders rejected became the cornerstone. The pit that Joseph was thrown into became the path to the palace. The cross that symbolized death became the bridge to eternal life. That's the pattern of heaven. It takes what was meant for evil and transforms it into evidence of redemption. You thought delay meant denial, but delay was divine choreography. Every no you received made room for a better yes. Every door that closed behind you pushed you closer to the one that was meant to open. Nothing you lost was wasted. Every loss was an investment toward glory. Chosen one, you must prepare your heart to receive without guilt. Sometimes restoration feels heavy because we've grown used to lack. You might feel unworthy of favor after so much failure. But that's exactly why grace exists. Restoration is not a reward for your perfection, it's a reflection of God's promise. The great reversal will begin subtly. You'll start noticing small shifts, a person who once ignored you reaching out, an idea resurfacing, a forgotten dream reigniting. These are signs that heaven's clock has struck restore. And as these moments multiply, gratitude must anchor you, because restoration without humility turns into pride. But restoration with gratitude turns into worship. This season requires discernment. Not every opportunity is from heaven. Not every return is redemption. Some things will try to revisit your life pretending to be restoration, but discernment will reveal their true origin. The blessings from God bring peace, not confusion. The restored things of heaven will fit effortlessly, without manipulation or compromise. As you step into this reversal, remember it is not your doing, it's His design. You can't earn what's already been written. You can only receive it with open hands. Let go of bitterness because unforgiveness clogs the flow of restoration. Release resentment because grace can't fill a heart that's still gripping revenge. You will soon look back on this chapter and see that nothing truly left you. It was simply being upgraded behind the scenes. Relationships you thought were broken will return in healed form. Dreams you buried will resurrect in stronger shape. The lost years will not just come back, they will bow to you, redeemed and repurposed. The great reversal is not just about what's being restored to your hands, it's about what's being restored to your heart. You're not just getting things back, you're getting yourself back. The version of you that dared to believe, that walked in wonder, that loved without fear. Heaven is handing that version of you back. So walk lightly but expectantly. The winds have shifted. The God who restores is already on the move. Every injustice that marked your past is now fuel for favor. Every loss has become a lesson wrapped in promise. The great reversal has begun, and you are standing right in the center of its unfolding. There always comes a final threshold, the moment where light and darkness can no longer coexist in the same heart. You, chosen one, have reached that place, the final separation. The hour when heaven asks, not politely but prophetically, whom will you serve? The ancient words of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15, still thunder across generations. Choose this day whom you will serve. This isn't just history, it's happening again, right here, right now. Heaven is not calling you to religion, it's calling you to resolve, to draw a line in your spirit that says, no more double living, no more divided loyalty, no more halfway obedience. You've tasted both worlds, the sweetness of surrender and the bitterness of compromise. You know by now that darkness always promises comfort but delivers chains. You've seen how easy it is to slip into distraction, to let routine replace reverence, to let survival drown out spirit. But that season ends here. This is where you separate from what once slowed you. Imagine a ship leaving harbor. For years, ropes held it tied to the dock, familiar habits, old fears, people who didn't understand your calling. Now heaven cuts those ropes one by one. The ship groans as it drifts free, frightened by the vastness of open water, yet exhilarated by the wind that finally fills its sails. That's your spirit right now. You are being untied from everything that once kept you safe but small. Separation is not abandonment, it's advancement. God removes you from certain places because your destiny no longer fits their dimensions. He separates light from darkness, not out of cruelty, but to preserve clarity. Every time He takes something away, He's making room for something weightier, holier, eternal. But there's something sacred about your choice in this hour. Heaven won't force it. The Spirit stands gently, whispering, "Choose me again." That choice made freely, not fearfully, is what activates the next level of your anointing. And as you choose, know this light will cost you comfort. It always does. You may lose some people along the way. You may outgrow certain conversations, detach from certain environments. That's okay. Eagles fly alone before they soar in formation. The air up there is thinner because fewer breathe that altitude. There will be moments when separation feels lonely, but solitude is not punishment, it's preparation. The silence that follows obedience is full of revelation. You'll begin hearing God in ways you never did before. His whisper will replace the world's noise. His peace will become your compass. When you finally choose light fully, something extraordinary happens. Heaven begins to trust you with influence. Not celebrity influence, but kingdom influence. People will begin to find rest in your presence because your spirit radiates safety. Your words will bring healing, not hype. You'll walk through chaos untouched, not because life got easier, but because your roots went deeper. And as this transformation unfolds, it's time to pour back into the very mission that keeps this flame alive. Like this message if it resonated deep within your spirit. Every click is a ripple of light that tells the algorithm of the world, hope still matters. Share it so someone still walking between light and darkness can feel the tug you feel now. Subscribe so you stay connected to this stream of truth. Because what heaven begins in you today, it intends to finish through continued encounter. And if you feel led, if your spirit whispers, I want to keep this light burning for others, then donate. Don't see it as charity. See it as covenant. Every offering becomes oil that keeps the lamp burning. Imagine this voice reaching a young heart somewhere. Someone standing at their own moment of separation, reading words you helped send. Your giving becomes wings for the message, carrying it farther than you could ever travel. Your support is like rain to soil. It doesn't just water one seed, it nourishes a field. You may never meet the lives touched by your generosity, but heaven will make sure you see the harvest when the time comes. So, chosen one, as you walk through this final divide, let go of hesitation. Light is waiting. Destiny is waiting. Freedom is waiting. This moment is not about guilt, it's about glory. About standing on the side of truth with your whole heart. About letting heaven write the rest of your story without interference from shadows. Separate boldly, love deeply, give freely. Because when you choose light, you never truly lose anything, you only exchange the temporary for the eternal. And when your heart agrees with this word, let it show. Leave a comment below, not for vanity, but for victory. Write something from your soul, a line, a word, a declaration that says, I choose my side, I choose my crown. Heaven reads your comments like prayers written in digital ink. Each one becomes a record of faith, a public yes to the private whisper of God. So choose, chosen one, not tomorrow, not someday, now. When the battle quiets, when the dust settles and the noise of the world finally fades, something sacred begins to descend, a weight that is not heavy, a peace that is not fragile. It rests gently, yet undeniably upon you. This is not imagination, chosen one. This is your crowning. Heaven has decided that your endurance deserves recognition. It was spoken in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me on that day. That crown is not gold or jewels, it is glory woven from obedience. It cannot tarnish, it cannot be stolen, and it cannot be earned, it is received. You are now stepping into that season of divine coronation, not for perfection, but for perseverance. Heaven's crowns don't rest on untested heads when they are placed upon those who've bled quietly in prayer, who've worshipped through disappointment, who've obeyed without applause. You have walked through darkness and still chosen light. You've been broken but refused to become bitter, and that, in heaven's economy, is royal behavior. This crown does not make you higher than others, it brings you lower before God. It's not given to inflate pride, but to seal purpose. When heaven crowns you, it's declaring, this one has been tried, this one has been trusted. You have proven faithful in secret, and now heaven trusts you with visibility, influence, and peace. The crown is not merely symbolic, it changes atmosphere. The moment it settles on your life, things begin to shift around you. Authority settles into your words. Clarity sharpens your decisions. The distractions that once called your name lose their volume. You begin to walk differently, not with arrogance, but with assurance. You no longer wonder if you belong, you know you do. Crowning seasons come quietly. They rarely look like coronations. There's no ceremony, no spotlight, just stillness, and suddenly you feel lighter, but stronger. Heaven doesn't need an audience to anoint. Your throne is not made of marble, it's made of surrender. Every yes you've whispered became a stone in its foundation. And now, as you stand at this stage of your becoming, understand this: the crown isn't a finish line. It's a beginning. It marks the end of one battle and the start of another, this time, not for survival, but for stewardship. You are no longer fighting to prove yourself. You are leading by example. Your authority now carries assignment. There's a peace that comes with being crowned, not the peace of escape, but the peace of embodiment. You no longer need to chase identity, you wear it. You don't need to beg for favor, you exude it. When you walk, heaven recognizes its own reflection. Do you remember when you felt unseen, when it seemed like your prayers evaporated into silence? Heaven remembers too. Every moment of quiet faith was recorded, and this is the result. The crown isn't a reward for the absence of failure, it's a declaration that failure never won. Crowned souls carry a quiet fire. They don't need to argue, to prove, to defend. Their confidence is holy. They understand that what was once broken has now become beautiful, and they live from gratitude instead of grievance. That's what makes them unstoppable, chosen one. Your crown may not glitter in the eyes of men, but it gleams brightly in the realm of spirit. It announces to darkness that your authority has been upgraded. The same battles that used to exhaust you will now flee at your presence. The enemy knows when a believer has been crowned, he feels the shift in the air. But crowns come with weight. They require balance. You will need to rest differently. Think differently. Speak differently. Every word from your mouth carries influence now. Be gentle with it. A crown is not meant to dominate, it's meant to illuminate. The more you shine, the more others find their way through your light. And even as this spiritual crown rests upon you, understand this truth: the King who crowned you still walks beside you. He doesn't send you to rule from distance. He reigns through your surrender. The crown is not proof of independence, it is a symbol of union. You and God now move as one heartbeat, one rhythm, one purpose. If you could see yourself through heaven's eyes right now, you'd weep. The same child who once trembled in fear now stands robed in confidence. The same hands that once clutched broken dreams now carry blessing. You are not who you were, you are who you were always meant to become. Walk slowly through this moment. Feel the crown settle not on your head, but on your heart. Let the weight remind you of your responsibility, and the peace remind you of His presence. You are not being honored for perfection. You are being trusted with continuation. There comes a moment in every divine story when the individual call becomes a collective movement. You, chosen one, have walked through solitude, surrender, refinement, and revelation. Now heaven expands the vision. You are no longer walking alone. The final chapter is not about isolation, it's about mobilization. You are joining the march of the chosen. The prophet Isaiah spoke of such a moment in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. This is more than poetry, it is a command from eternity. It is heaven's rallying cry to those who have been hidden in the shadows for too long. The time for waiting is over. The light has come, and you are being summoned to carry it forward. The march of the chosen is not loud or violent, it is radiant. It moves through kindness, through truth, through faith that refuses to be silenced. It's a march of hearts aligned with heaven's rhythm, advancing through compassion instead of conquest, through presence instead of pride. Every step you take in love becomes a declaration of victory over darkness. You've been through the wilderness, and you learned obedience. You've walked through fire, and you learned endurance. You've stood in silence, and you learned discernment. All of it was training for this moment, the moment when heaven releases you as part of its living army. The crown you received was never meant to remain personal. It was meant to be carried into purpose. This isn't a march of conquest, but of calling. The world is growing darker, but light multiplies fastest in darkness. Heaven is raising a generation of torchbearers who won't hide behind titles or fear. Their weapons are not swords, but sincerity, not noise, but anointing. You are among them. Picture it, a field before dawn, mist clinging to the ground, silence so deep it hums. Then one by one, lights begin to flicker across the horizon, some near, some distant. But as each light awakens, the darkness retreats. That's the image of this generation of chosen ones, different flames. Same fire, scattered across nations, yet united in purpose. The march of the chosen doesn't follow human maps. It follows divine direction. Heaven coordinates your steps with those of others you've never met. The same spirit that stirred your awakening stirs theirs. Somewhere across oceans, another heart beats in the same rhythm as yours. You may never know their name, but together you are shifting the spiritual climate of the world. You will recognize your fellow marchers not by their words, but by their fruit. They'll carry peace that silences storms, eyes that see beyond surface, hearts that love beyond logic. They will move with quiet conviction and walk with the humility of those who've been through fire. You'll sense them before you meet them, the resonance will be undeniable. But this march isn't without resistance. The darkness does not surrender easily. There will be opposition, misunderstanding, distraction, fatigue. The enemy's greatest strategy is division, to make the chosen doubt each other. But unity is your shield. The light within you was never meant to compete, it was meant to converge. Marching together doesn't mean uniformity, it means harmony. Just as every note in a song carries its own tone, every chosen one carries a distinct expression of glory. You don't need to sound like others to walk beside them. Your difference is what strengthens the symphony. Heaven delights in diversity bound by devotion. And as you march, understand that every small act becomes part of a global transformation. When you forgive, you disarm darkness. When you speak truth, you shift atmospheres. When you pray, you push back shadows across borders you'll never cross physically. Every chosen one contributes to the movement. Every step echoes in eternity. The world will not understand this army at first. They'll look for banners, uniforms, hierarchy, but find none. They will not see soldiers, they will see servants, they will not hear battle cries, they will hear songs of mercy. This is heaven's paradox: the meek inherit the earth because their power is anchored in peace. You are now part of a living prophecy being fulfilled. The same spirit that hovered over the waters at creation now breathes through you. Through this generation, igniting an unstoppable wave of light. You will carry this presence into workplaces, homes, cities, and nations, turning ordinary ground into holy territory. As this movement grows, remember the pattern: revelation leads to responsibility. Responsibility leads to radiance. The more light you carry, the more humility must anchor you. The true mark of the chosen is not dominance but devotion. Power without love divides, power wrapped in love redeems. Soon, you'll look around and see others walking beside you. Faces once weary, now glowing. Voices once trembling, now strong. The sound of your collective faith will rise like morning over the horizon, driving out despair, awakening hope. It will not be about a single voice, but about a harmony of hearts beating for the same King. This is your destiny, chosen one to walk in the march of light that no darkness can withstand, to carry heaven's fragrance into the streets of a tired world, to remind creation that God is not finished yet. The story isn't ending, it's unfolding, and you are now part of its living chorus. Chosen one, take a moment to breathe. You've walked through every revelation, pain, purpose, purification, and power, and now you stand crowned, awakened, aligned, and ready. Heaven has spoken, and your spirit has answered. You have become what the journey intended, a vessel of divine light in a trembling world. But remember, light is not meant to be hidden. What you've received here is not only for you, it's for the heart still searching in the dark. When you like this message, it's not a gesture of habit, it's a signal to heaven saying, I carry the flame forward. When you share, you become part of the divine chain reaction that reaches souls you may never meet. Every share is another candle lit in a distant night. Subscribe so that this stream of truth can continue flowing into your life, reminding you who you are each time the world tries to make you forget. Stay connected to this space, a sanctuary of words where heaven still speaks in whispers that your spirit recognizes. And before you leave, take one simple but powerful act. Comment below. Write something from your heart, just a word, a phrase, a declaration. It might be I receive, or I'm ready, or even just amen. Whatever rises from your spirit, release it. Those comments are not data, they are digital prayers, sparks of faith left behind for someone else to find when their own darkness closes in. You have journeyed through the divine script, and heaven smiles upon your endurance. You are the light now. You are the message now. Carry it forward, one act of love, one word of truth, one spark at a time.